So I bought this bike, I think it was February 2nd, and they had it listed, I think $81.90. So out the door where I live, it was I think it was around $8,500. So overall, I'm just gonna start with this. Overall, I am really liking this bike. It is my first bike. I've rode dirt bikes a little bit in the past. I had an old street bike. It was a Kawasaki 250 when I was in middle school. Didn't ride it much. I am 6'4", 260 pounds, so I'm a little bit bigger rider, but seating position, just fine. Not a problem. I did put a different seat on it because my problem is I slide into the tank, and that was, a big problem for me, and I didn't like that. So I got a different aftermarket seat. It is a Saddleman Gel Tech, I believe, found on Revzilla, eBay, Solo Moto Parts, something like that. All sorts of different ones. So one more thing on this screen, if you can see it still, right here it says Eco. I've had a lot of people ask me about that. Basically what it is, it's not one of the modes. It's not something that's selectable. You can't just click it and get better gas mileage. So if I give it a little gas, it goes off. When I let go and just hold it lower, it comes on. So basically what it is you're in a certain gear at a certain RPM and you're getting, good gas mileage. Basically it's telling you where you're getting the best gas mileage at. Basically it's going to be definitely a lot more opinion, because this is my first street bike, a legal street bike, licensed, and I have my motorcycle license now. So this is going to be, more so my opinion. I can't really compare it to a whole lot, but I'll try to do my best. I'm probably going to do two parts of this. One this weekend. It might come out during this week between June 15th and June 19th, June 20th, and then another part of the review the next week. As long as it doesn't rain on me anymore, I can do some stuff with my bike. Oh, I got a sweet sunrise or sunset behind me. I wish I was going that way. Okay, so this bike, it produces, I think it's 115 horsepower and I think 65 foot-pounds of torque. So those are pretty good numbers, pretty big numbers, for a street bike, for only being $8,200 or $8,500 out the door. This bike definitely has some torque to it. My buddy, I guess I do have two bikes to compare this to. One is comparable, the other is more of a cruiser. But my buddy has a 2013 FZ-08, and it is a 4-cylinder. This bike is a 3-cylinder. What I'm going to say is, it's, as far as power, it's a completely different bike. This bike has power in every gear, all the way through the gear. My buddy's bike, the FZ-08, it does not hit its power unless you're above 9,000 RPM. I mean, first gear, yeah, you got some torque there. Second gear, a little bit. But if you're not staying in the RPMs, you're not getting any power. This bike, I'm in 5th gear right now. I gave it gas. And it goes. Okay? That's one of the main things I really like about this bike compared to my buddy's bike or my brother's cruiser. Obviously the cruiser's not comparable. Okay? So here, let's put it in 3rd gear. Let's put it in 3rd gear, okay? Second gear, how about that? We're gonna go second gear down to 40, all right? We're holding it at 40, holding it at 40, watch this. So what do we go, 40 to 80? Something like that? This thing is ridiculous. Okay, when I first started riding this thing, it was a little bit scary. I will admit that. I thought I was a little in over my head. But you know what? Anybody can ride this bike as long as you have self-control, common sense, and right here, your wrist. That's what's gonna decide whether you're gonna live on this thing or die on this thing. I mean, obviously there's outside things that can affect, you know, whether you live or die on a motorcycle, you know, weather, other people, road obstacles, stuff like that. But as far as you controlling it, it's in your wrist right there. So, words of warning, this bike is powerful. It has crazy torque, crazy acceleration. I don't know how to even explain it. Definitely test ride this thing, and it's just adrenaline. That's what you're gonna get from it. You know, top speed on this bike is supposed to be 132. Okay, not super high, but if you're like me and you don't really care how fast it goes, you know, top speed, but you're about acceleration, this is the bike for you. I promise. You will not be disappointed, and you will not get sick of it. I'm not much about top speed, all right? I don't like, you know, going over 100. 100's about my limit, you know. I like going from zero to 100 quick, you know. This is the bike. Would you look at that? So, suspension. Yes, everybody talks about the suspension on the FZ-09. Honestly, I can't even say, you know, it's bad or it's really good, you know. I can't do it because I have not rode enough to know if the suspension is bad or if it's good. But what I can say is I have rode this thing quite a few, you know, I put quite a few miles on it in the last couple months. I mean, not anything, you know, way out there, but I haven't had any problems with it. The only thing I can say about it that sometimes, you know, it scares me a little bit is when you brake, you know, front brake, the bike will dip. It dips down, you know, that's usually, I mean, I have never locked the front tire up on this. I have locked the tire, I have locked the back tire on it. Nothing happened there, it was fine. But as far as front tire, I've never locked it up, but it does dip. I'm gonna give you a little example here. Okay, we're going 50 miles per hour. See that? It dips. Just this weekend, you know, after 4 months of riding it, I saw somebody adjusting it on YouTube, so I was like, hey, you know, I'm gonna try that. It was at its factory settings, you know, about midway on both of them. I tightened them down, you know, I figured I'm a little bit heavier rider, it wouldn't hurt, so I did it, and to be honest, I can't tell the difference. I really can't, so, but I haven't had any problems, so I don't know. Okay, so their suspension, you know, somebody that's been riding, they obviously have a, you know, better words on whether it's good, whether it's bad, but that's what I've got to say about it. As far as the back suspension, going over, you know, bumps and stuff, no problem. 260 pounds, I don't notice anything too extreme, not, you know, throwing me off the bike, nothing like that. Now, one of the biggest things, the biggest complaints I read before I bought this bike, people who test ride it, and, you know, people who only ride it for probably an hour or less, you know, the big guys that get to ride, you know, the new FZ-09 when it comes out. Oh, the throttle. Oh, geez, throttle. I'm sure if you're looking at this review of this bike, and if you're interested in it, you've read it too, or you've heard about it. I don't even know how to start. All right, I'm almost home, so I gotta make this quick. All right, we're gonna put it in A mode. Now I'm gonna show you this, watch this. If you're going slow, it's controllable. I'm holding one spot right now, nothing, okay? A mode is power mode, remember that. Looks like it works fine to me. I'm just kidding. Okay, when I first started riding this, all right, I got the bike home. It was raining that night. I was like, I gotta take it for a ride, you know. It was the first time I rode a street bike in years, and I jumped on it. I didn't have any problems. I'm pretty sure this bike was flashed when I bought it, you know, with the new ECU flash or whatever. Supposed to fix the throttle problem. Here's what the deal is. I'm almost positive the people who ride it, right, they go test ride it, or they ride it here, they rode it when, you know, they got a chance to ride it so they could do a review on YouTube, you know, the big guys, whatever. They rode it for less than an hour. If you've rode bikes before, I'm sure this bike does feel weird, you know, the throttle does feel touchy. That's because, I mean, if you've only rode it an hour, you're not used to it. You're used to other bikes, you know how they are. If you've rode it more than an hour or two, you get used to it and you don't think about it again. End of story, alright? So oh, the throttle's bad on that bike, you know, don't buy it because of that. You know what? You can either believe them or go, you know, test ride your friends. If you know somebody that has one, ask them if you can ride it for a while. Or go to the dealer, ride it, see if you can ride it for an hour. I promise you, it won't be weird. It's not going to be anything crazy, scary, you know, going to get you hurt. You just got to get used to it. It's simple. All right. And I did reset my miles to the gallon average, so let's see what I've got. I've done about 15 miles now from home, or from the gas station to the town I live in. Let's see what we've done here. So right now, currently 65.3 miles to the gallon. My average 51.1 miles to the gallon, all right? I did the math the other day when I went over, you know, about a 100-mile trip, and it was about, I think it was 44 to 45 miles to the gallon, which I believe is what Yamaha claims on their website. So, I mean, I was going through, you know, a canyon, you know, back and forth, switchback, stop and go, you know, because there was construction and stuff like that. So, I went over suspension. Honestly, I don't see a problem with it. You'll have to ride a bike for yourself to see, you know. If you've rode before, maybe it is bad. I don't know. I haven't. You know, this is my first bike. But I'm absolutely loving it. So this is part one. So hopefully I can get a part two out, you know, next weekend, you know, something like that. I'm going to go over a couple more things on the bike. If you guys have any questions, please write it down, you know, leave a comment or send me a private message if you want to, you know. Just let me know and I'll reply right back to you, you know. So thanks for watching, guys. Woodster 71 out.